True North Sanctuary is a stunning reserve set in Alberta, Canada, which I believe is the home country of the zoo's creator, Sparrow838, or just Sparrow. The zoo reflects its creator, an educational, detailed and inspiring build showcasing beautiful, cohesive architecture, attention to detail, and several inspired touches, such as an art gallery and a wedding venue, and features a charismatic cast of North American animals, ranging from the moose to the polar bear. Join me. Hey there friends, you saw the intro, so let's go. We are heading up this path from this tunnel, and we are already greeted with this beautiful North American environment. As you see those drone cams up there, which is great for taking pictures. And the first thing you see when you arrive here at the True North Sanctuary is this beautifully designed entrance building. And yeah, it's just one of the standouts of this zoo is definitely its architecture, the style of the buildings here, and a lot of educational stuff is present here as well. And I think this is really a standout start of the zoo, really. That wall with all the faux rocks in there, making it look so nice. The beautiful sign with the oval shape here. And yeah, it's off to a great start. A wonderfully designed entrance here. And we move forward into this atmospheric entranceway with a lovely glass wall here. We can look at this, guys. We can go get some information here. Perhaps buy some tickets, get some maps here. Look at the prices. It's pretty good prices actually, pretty decent. And wonderful artwork everywhere from our artist in residence. As you can see, they have drawn these pictures of many of the residents here. And this is the sort of the intended exit, now available on the Steam Workshop, as you see. And then look at this cool little artwork here at the top. Such a real feeling building for sure. And we're heading down these stairs. We have a footpath, and we have actually an accessible ramp for anyone that needs it. And then a wonderful waterfall back here. Amazing stuff, amazing stuff. There's a restroom back here. And we are greeted by this. There's a whole bunch of backstage stuff that I'm going to show you at the end. We are doing the visitor experience at the moment. So we head through this great roof entrance here. And we are greeted with this sight, the amazing mountains here in the back. And the first animal is a charismatic opener to any zoo, really. It is the small and charming prairie dog. As you can see, this whole zoo has custom signs everywhere. I downloaded a lot of billboards to make this work. So if you wanna, I'll take a look at all of them if I can, if you wanna pause and read them, because a lot of work went into this, absolutely. And this is the prairie dog habitat. You get a wonderful shelter here with a path entry for the staff and a prairie dog access. And they're all down there, as you can see. There's a little baby, there's some adults. They have a whole bunch of food. And yeah, a great opener, a classic opener, really. Prairie dogs, meerkats. I like the way that the rocks morph with the mountain behind it, creating sort of the illusion that the mountains are the backdrop of the habitat. Don't know if that was intentional, but it very much works like this for me right now, that it looks like the backdrop of this habitat is the mountains, and even the rocks themselves are shaped like mountains. So that feels like a nice touch, if it was intentional or not. But guys, honestly, feast your eyes. The rock work here to the side, the planting here with the moss, the nettles, the trees. Kind of nostalgic for me, because one of my favorite zoos that I built in the past was a North American zoo. And yeah, I still love working with that architecture. We're just gonna do a whole revolution around the American bison habitat. So these impressive creatures. And we get some pronghorn as well, and some babies. We're not going to look over there just yet. We are going to check out the bison habitat. They have a very, very sturdy fence here, because these guys are tough. And you know, some people think underestimate them a bit. If you might have seen footage from like national parks in America and or Canada, where people want to go up to a moose or a bison and give them a little pet, but don't do that, guys. But look at this habitat, the way it slopes down with this sort of moat effect here at the end. You get the pronghorn grazing here under the sun, and the bison back there. One thing I have noticed though, that the zoo has plenty of animal species, but the population of each animal is not that large. Like this has a parent and a child bison, I think that's it. Perhaps the fact that it's a sanctuary has something to do with that. I might want to look that up. There's a whole series on YouTube about this zoo by Sparrow, so obviously I recommend go checking that out. Look at this wonderful statue, by the way, which I hadn't noticed yet. Amazing. We are definitely just gonna go around this whole place. There is a map here which I'm going to try and follow for the most part, with details with the restrooms, parking, a beautifully designed map, sharp, snappy design, wonderful font, great use of color. We're going to head here, and then we're gonna check out this place. Go like this, and then go like this, and then like this. That's the idea, just so you know. But just, yeah, I want to show you the stuff like this, these banner posts here with all the explanation. That is clear, definitely where this zoo stands out. The signage, the educational content everywhere. Yeah, now that we're here, why don't we check out the gift shop? I think this is also a standout moment here in the zoo, this gift shop entry with this wonderful, you know, triangular shape here. A great terrace here to have dinner while you can check out the bisons here. And the pronghorn. You're gonna grab your little panini here, sit down. And yeah, check out the sights with the mountains as the backdrop, the trees here. Already I feel fully immersed in this place. So let's check inside. I have no doubt this is going to be very detailed and wonderful. And of course it is. Look at this structure here. These beams supporting this roof, the windows at the back. This amazing way you need to reach the gift shop. What is this? Oh, okay. It's not a piece. I was confused. It's an actual counter in the game. But this is the gift shop. Look at this faux tree here. I love that. And these actually, is this like the sleeping enrichment plaster to the top to create this sort of funny faux tree effect. You get this wonderful gift shop. Everything here has the color scheme of the zoo with these this teal and green and a sort of bronzish theme. You get a whole bunch of custom made stuffed toys here. Is this like phone cases or something? I'm not sure, but we get mugs. We get these like nice minerals and everything. That is so cool. I don't think I've seen that before. That's so nice. Yep, at the other end, let's sprint. We get some books as well, or some notebooks. I love it. And at this side you have the indoor. Wonderful. The lighting hits just right. This feels like a real place for sure. This feels like the way the lighting is working with us here. We can grab some food here. This guy is kind of bored waiting for a customer, but they're making, what are they making? A carrot, tomato and apple salad with a lump of a lump of brown. Seems to be the idea. I love it. Let's head out here and head on down there. So I'm not going to look over there yet, but we're going to head to the Woodland walk. And let's head into this area first. Look at this green roof, by the way, which we're not permitted to enter. Eco-friendly as well. You love to see it. But yeah, another thing that this zoo really makes stand out for me is, aside from just the wonderful architecture and the environment, is the educational stuff, the learning center, where you get places like, I'm going to assume how to learn how to plant something, right? I think that this is what it's going to be. It's just like this classroom environment. I love it. Learning about plants that grow in the local environment. You get a box of crayons here, a screen here, an actual transportable like smart board. It has to be said that Sparrow is a teacher, so I'm not sure exactly what subjects or anything or what years, but they are a teacher, and I think it really shows in their attention here to the educational aspect, like this classroom environment, or probably schools stop by and get some explanation and everything. And I think the attention to detail here of that screen here with these like pens and everything, this is something who has been in an educational situation for sure. So absolutely worth a visit here. And we're going to start the Woodland walk. If I miss something, guys, that's on me. I will at the end zoom out and check out everything that I might have missed. We're going to do the guest experience, and that means we might have to double back sometimes, and it's possible that we miss stuff, but I will just try and do the guest experience with first these exhibits here for the bullfrog. Let's see if we can find the guy. I think there he goes. And this is going to be the diamond-back terrapin. Yes, there we have them. Great exhibit boxes. Look at the way it's, sort of hidden, these huge giant boxes with these faux trees and everything, and the ivy. It really sells the idea. Wonderful stuff. Let's not head down there just yet. We're going to head on down here. We get a glimpse of the backstage there with the greenhouse. A beautiful river here. Actually, I'm gonna head down there. I'm gonna change my mind once again, because this looks like a fox habitat that I need to check out before I move on. And they actually seem to have their little backstage area under the education center. That's really fun. I love the way parts of this zoo have elevation and slopes, but it feels natural every time. This is sunken down just so you can walk down here, have a sit, have a look, and check out these foxes here playing with the balls. Love it. He's gonna have a little go. The red fox lives in a lot of places, but in this zoo is represented as a North American animal. We get a glimpse there of what's coming next. Seems like a fun little teaser, but we're not supposed to be looking over that fence just yet. Let's continue our way over here. Over this bridge with the beautiful weeping willow back here. Two of them, in fact. We're getting some previews here of what's to come. I feel like I'm looking at a beaver as well, but we'll get there when we get there. This is a sort of indoor habitat for the raccoon, and I don't think I've seen one like this before, with this round, like, it's not called an aviary, it's called a cage with the pole in the middle. And actually we're getting to see them in a really cool place, just elevated up there. I think there's one below here. There's a couple of them, in fact. a very fun little habitat. Raccoons are, you know, is that the word, ubiquitous in North America? They're not really seen as zoo animals per se. Here in Belgium where I live, they're definitely zoo animals, so. But yeah, I love the way the lighting is interacting with this glass here. A great little habitat. Oh, they are in fact greenhouses repurposed, as I can see here, which is probably explained further on these signs. These were 2 greenhouses repurposed into habitats. And we also get this cute little striped skunk habitat. And when I say cute, I mean it. Look at the flowers. Look at the nod back to the greenhouse past of this habitat. In fact, the whole thing seems to be a reference to the past of this little cage as a greenhouse. And I don't see a lot of builders using these butterfly signs these days, but which is a bit of a shame, because they really add a cuteness factor to this habitat for sure. Wonderful stuff, both of these habitats. And let's have a stop here at this wonderful little plaza here with these heaters, which you also, I don't see these used very often. You know, it has to be said, I spend a lot of time in hot climates and desert zoos, because I love desert zoos, so it's kind of obvious I don't get to see these often. Where we can get a coffee, a donuts, or some fries, sit here, warm ourselves, and then we're good to go with these tree guards here and the nettles growing inside. I love it. By the way, guys, there's a mod out now which changes a lot of trees, like these kind of course not these trees, but these trees to autumn colors. So if you want to build an autumn inspired zoo, you can get all trees to look like this or that one, and it looks great. We're going to head on down to the Beaver Lodge and the Edu Station. And I hope I don't miss any educational centers, because they really make this zoo stand out for sure. At this end, we just have some backstage stuff. Maximum clearance 5.5 meters. You love to see it. Imperial system. And at this, no, what am I saying? The metric system, yeah. And this little guard protecting the drivers from accidental rock falls. I think that kind of detail reveals that Sparrow actually lives in North America. It's not something I would ever think to do. I'm actually getting stuck here in explore mode, so it seems like I need to have a little jump. There we go. Here we get a grand overview of the moose and beaver habitat. I hadn't noticed that they share a habitat. We get a male and female moose, and it looks like a little baby back there. And then we also get beavers, 1 or more beavers in here, and they do have their little dam here. And yeah, I love it. The tree guards everywhere, making sure the beavers don't destroy all the trees in here, because they would absolutely do that in, you know, probably a very short amount of time. We actually do get some trees here that have been gnawed off. And look at the wonderful way there's like steps into the water, so the moose can gradually get in and out of there. Wonderful. Great habitat with the backdrop here of that that's an actual real mountain built in the game by Sparrow, but it really merges with the actual mountains back there. Has to be a deliberate choice here, this sightline, because it really works. We're going to head there as one of the final moments in the tour. So let's go. Let's hope we don't get stuck again, and we're going to head into the Beaver Lodge, where we'll probably get some... Oops. Alright, this path is wreaking havoc on our little explore mode cam. Let's try again. Nope. Let's just do like this. Yep. There we go. Alright, so we do get the North American beaver and the moose with the wonderful facts here. They can remain underwater for up to 15 minutes. And moose attacks are the most frequent kind of animal attacks in North America. I understand it. These guys are big and they don't take any shit from you. Pardon the cussing. But yeah, this is the educational aspect here, where we can find out all about I'll have to have explained to me what this is all about. Is this meant to evoke a beaver lodge? But we get the cute little owls up there. Explanation. And the amazing moose sign here. There we go. We have left that. This just heads back, so we can ignore that safely. And I'm actually going to check out the map for now. So, Beaver Lodge, we did the moose and beaver, that's number 9. We just were in, did we see 7 and 8? We did. We're, I don't think we need to head there yet. Or do I? That's the polar center, right? The polar center is... I'm not sure. I'm gonna choose this side and see what we see. At this side, we're actually going to get a couple of aviaries with bird statues. Some of these exist as mods in the game at this point, but I understand it would be a bit of a shake-up to actually have to add mods in these faux habitats. Beautiful bird statue. Again, guys, if you want to know who made all of these, Sparrow has a YouTube series about this, and also has on the workshop a collection where they list all of the workshop items used to build this, because not everything here was built by her. But you know, the important parts are, of course, the wonderful architecture. Look at the detailing here, where the mesh is connected to the wood here with these like metal strips here. The lights here, the detailing, it has to be said, is exquisite, to the point that I'm not even really talking much about it, because it just works so well and so naturally that, you know, that you miss these things. But just the way there's texture added to walls like this and everything, and this especially stands out to me, like, not sure. And this little handrail here as well, very zoo-like, allowing you to sort of lean on it and check out the birds inside. But also just something that I would forget to build myself were I to make a zoo like this. And we get the blue jay with their own little cute little habitat, and we get the, I'm going to assume, the red jay. No, the northern cardinal, excuse me, shows what I know. Don't know every bird in the world. We actually got to see these as well at the beaver educational station. What we missed at this point is this sideways view, if you will, of the moose, and we're instructed to steer clear of them. Again, guys, look at the nails keeping these wooden posts attached to each other. Attention to detail is top-notch for sure. All right, again, not heading to the Arctic zone just yet, because if I recall, the map sort of instructs us to head here next. Did we miss anything? Butterflies? We missed butterflies. Did we miss the butterflies? We've seen everything in the Woodland Walk, excuse me, but we missed butterflies. Guys, I'm gonna run over there and I'll do a quick jump cut. I'm just gonna interrupt the quick jump cut here to make you look at this. I know he's clipping through the fence a little bit. Ooh, it's kind of scary, but just imagine standing here next to this giant animal that at the shoulders is just taller than a human man. What a wonderful sight to see. Even though, you know, it clipped a bit, but that's okay. What a great sight. You can just imagine the sound of it walking and breathing, possibly even the smell. I do have a pungent smell in mind when I look at these guys. I'm not sure if that's actually accurate, but you know, big guys like that, they probably have a little bit of a funk to them. So butterflies. Okay, yeah, there's actually a butterfly garden here. We missed it. So this is a cute little outdoors butterfly garden. A very well hidden exhibit box. It's not possible to tell really that this is like the exhibit box area, because it's just very well hidden with the null path here and the change in elevation here. But we get this wonderful little butterfly garden with the plants here hidden away from the rest of the zoo. You don't really see animals when you're here. You get a little private moment here with the monarch butterfly. Alright, I'm happy I saw that. Let's move on back to the next part of the zoo. Alright, we're heading over to what I believe is the Prairie pathway. We're not heading up there. We're gonna use that as the exit. Walking past this bison sculpture, we get more education on the bison. Such a cool animal. Nearly hunted to extinction at one point, but I'm very glad that these guys are still around. Just look at them. These are just primal animals from another era, if you really think about it. It's a shame that not more of the megafauna of the past is still around. And we get a final little wonderful look here at the bison and the pronghorn. Sort of a panoramic view here. Really well done. Really well made. And we even get like a nod to the teepee here. Sort of like an abstract rendition of it. With an actual smoke pit here. Why have I not seen this before? Oh, it's the South American wall lights. I have not seen them used like that before. That's really smart. We can have a little restroom stop here. And I'm glad I didn't miss it. Kivetnok. No, Kivetinok. Gallery of Art and Culture. With these custom font pieces. Is this like the Inuit language, or am I being culturally insensitive there? I'm not sure. By the way, look at this teaser, look at what's to come, but we're going to keep that a teaser for now and enter. Ooh, I love it. This sort of darker room with these artworks. And these, I believe, are just actual renditions of, it seems like the people that is being represented here made drawings on animal skins. Perhaps bison or another animal of the sort. This is teaching us all about that. We get more art, sculptures, more education. What a wonderful little place. Fantastic, absolutely. I love the fact that the building is designed this way so that these animal statues are hidden. I was gonna say beautiful roof here, but that's just a painted slate roof. But something to keep in mind if you want to build a nice roof. Why not the painted slate roof? And we get a little cool little shopping area here to get some pizza, gulpy, hot dogs, or just some water. Head on up here, grab your stuff, made from stuff, and continue with this funny little bison sculptures again. How detailed are the indoor environments? They're pretty nice. Glad I came here to check it out, because the detail continues in here, even with these like air vents for the air conditioning. And oh, I think we're getting a little teaser here of, not quite. Anyway, that's the entrance. We are heading down here. Also, something that I just noticed is that the staff is also dressed in the color scheme of the zoo. This like teal, beige, bronze and black that you're looking at right now is also represented in the staff uniforms. I love it. We'll check out the backstage later. There's a whole lot to look at, in fact. But that's not for right now. Right now we are guests and we will stick to the paths destined for us. I'm gonna have another look here at the map just to make sure. This is not a map. This is the grizzly bear compared to us. As you can see, guys, I'm not as tall as a grizzly bear. These guys are pretty big. Nearly, as you see, 2.5 meters. And they weigh a lot. Okay, I'm gonna do a little quick jump cut here and check out the map before I make any big mistakes here. Alright, I'm actually going to head down there. Look at this cool stuff. I love it. The way the fence is integrated into the rocks here. The way this is supported. You blink and you miss it, all this detailing. But I think in a zoo like this, the detailing is just so natural that you don't tend to stop and look at it. But it's just a way to make a concrete wall look like a real wall is by adding all of this extra stuff. And you sort of skip over it because it looks so natural, but right, these little cute little borders here for the planters and everything. It's just right. It's just perfect. We get the timber wolf here. I did see, I think there's not a lot of them in here. Perhaps deliberately so. But they do get their very majestic habitat, which actually has a second part, I believe. But we do get the timber wolf here. Clearly one of the stars of the show. With a wonderful building back there. Great planting, great hinges in elevation. They have their own water section, which is sort of hidden from view for the guests. And I see a little lookout tower over there that we're definitely going to check out. We get the owl. I think this is just like the snowy owl. Definitely want to head up there as well. Look at the enrichment integrated into the tree. Great. Just a tip if you want to do something like that yourself. It works as long as this thing is placed firmly on a flat surface and everything. You can have items interact with it that way. It is the great gray owl over here. I love owls, man. Like, I'm a huge fan of owls. I wish I knew more about them, to be sure, but there's just a whole bunch of potential comedy present in just the mere look of an owl. The way this guy looks, you know, like, just you can tell just by looking at it. This guy is like surprised, like, what did you just say to me? I love in zoos when you make eye contact with an owl. They're also kind of intimidating. They have this very, very angry, upset look to them that always makes me feel like, okay, I'm sorry to intrude on your day. Beautiful barriers here keeping the wolves at bay. Beautiful waterfall here, stacked on top of each other, and then these little water spouts here coming from the stone. Great stuff. Great changes in elevation. We get a whole bunch of explanation about pack tactics, and I did not know truly that you could replace these. I've played this game for 4 years and I did not know you could replace these signs. That actually opens up a whole lot of options for me to build. Oh my god. Meet the pack. Onyx. They're named after minerals. Onyx, jet, jasper. That's so cool. They're all introduced to us. As you can see, the pack consists of, looks like 3 wolves only. But if you, of course, let nature run its course, the pack will grow. And there's room for at least 1 more over there. And we get our little timber wolf sign here. As you can see, there's their little river here. And we get 2 of the pack over there. A big habitat for one of the more signature animals of North America, for sure. I'm gonna have a little bio break, and I'll see you after this jump cut. Alright, and we're back. So what we're gonna do now is this little mountain hike. As you can see, we are heading to this mountain here, which is a wonderful thing. I also remember building in my North American... Oh no. I remember building in my North American zoo a very similar Dall sheep habitat with this little mountain viewing. So this feels... Okay, I'm just gonna go like this for now. So look at this wonderful habitat. I almost missed that guy down there. Look at the way the mountain is shaped here as the backdrop. So dramatic, full of drama. Great rock work here. All morphed together. There's a lot of rocks being used here. This little patch of grass here. Great stuff. And we're definitely going to head up there, because I believe it has some great views, and also an implied aviary up there. So let's have a little walk together, won't we, with the Dall sheep. I wonder actually, now that the roster has expanded a little bit, if Sparrow would ever want to expand the zoo, but that's a question for later. It's actually quite a walk up there, so I think I'm gonna do it, but I might sprint a little bit. There you go. We get some teasers of what's to come, but again, let's keep that as a teaser. We can have a little rest here and continue on. Let's go. Don't need a second rest, we're fine. Actually, I do need a third rest. Let's actually have a first look here at this wonderful valley where this sanctuary is located, with these towering mountains all around. You have to love the maps in Planet Zoo that have these backdrops. They can really elevate a zoo if you choose the right backdrop, and also make your zoo interact with that backdrop, as I've seen happen in this zoo. So this is like a mining hallway, kind of. A tunnel through the mountaintop. Yes, there we go. We do have some ore being mined here with these custom made mine carts. Gorgeous. And here we have the bald eagle, the North American bird, of course. A symbol of the nation and the region, really. Great predators, great eyesight. And that's a fact that I did not know. When a bald eagle loses a feather on one wing, it will lose a feather on the other in order to keep balance. I did not know that, and that is generally a really cool fact. So we get the bald eagle here in their little aviary. Seems like we have a breeding pair over here. And on the other hand, we have these perches here for them to sit and to get inside. But the view here, of course, is amazing. Mostly a treetop view, making the zoo look like really hidden in the trees. Great stuff. If you want, you can check out the Dall sheep down below for a really cool, unique view of the animals way down there. Wonderful. Now we're gonna do a little speed run back to the bottom of the mountain. But very well made. Great terraforming here. Can you just imagine how cold it is up here? And then you get to see the cool eagles sitting there, probably with a lot of wind through their feathers and everything. Great stuff. Majestic and everything. Alright, we have a bit of a ways to go. but we're gonna head over here. Oh, I was actually fooled by this faux little habitat, kind of. I thought this was like a grizzly bear, a pair of white grizzly bears, but it's not. Anyway, let's continue. Prairie pathway and a restaurant is heading up. Here we get the reindeer, or the caribou as they're often called in this region of the world, and another beautiful habitat. What stands out to me thus far is also I've said this, but like the elevation that is always at play here. The whole zoo is not built on a flat rectangle, there's elevation everywhere. And the planning it must have taken, or at least the skill to make it all come together, is commendable for sure. But the elevation here as well, and then you have this wall to keep the earth at bay here. And you get the reindeer. Not sure if there's more than just this parent and the two little babies, but I love it. Absolutely love it. Over on this end, we seem to be crossing over what I might remember being another part of the wolf habitat, or just the second wolf habitat, or is this still the reindeer, or is it grizzly bear, or is it cougar? I'm not sure yet. I think all will be revealed, because I'm not seeing this. This seems like a cat habitat, but like cat habitats are often wont to do, it's not easy to spot the cat. If you've been to real life zoos, they are very often the animal that is hidden somewhere, sleeping, hiding. So this is a very realistic habitat for sure. Let's not miss this little reindeer look into their stables actually. Very well made, sturdy looking interior here. And we are not permitted to go down there. We get a little teaser here of the Arctic zone. I think we missed a spot. Didn't we? Let's zoom out a bit. Yeah. We continue our visit this way to make sure we see everything. So this little cute little garden here with the ferns and everything and the nettles, the mulch is wonderful, but we want to take a look first of all at what must be the cougar, but I don't know where it is. He or she. There's plenty of space, plenty of climbing, a big building here. I was reminded to check out the education center above the links, but I think well, this is not the link, so whatever. I'm getting my animals mixed up, excuse me. Where is this cougar hiding at? Should I spoil myself and try and look for it in the overlay? I'm gonna do it. Oh, checks out. It's sleeping right over there. And I think there's only one of them, so a lot of space for this animal, which I think is fair. I think a lot of these animals are solitary. And you often see them in Planet Zoo in pairs, but very often, like tigers and everything, are solitary animals and are not often paired up in zoos like this. Then we get the grizzly bear. Ursus arctos horribilis. The horrible Arctic bear, pretty much. These guys, a fact that I did know, they sleep, they hibernate for 5 to 7 months of the year. There's actually a competition which has gained some traction on social media. In some national park or other, forgive me for not knowing, that sort of holds a competition for the fattest bear. Because these bears stuff themselves full of food, absolutely become absolute units, as they say, and then they sleep through the coldest, most challenging parts of the year, and then they wake up having pretty much, consumed all of that food and fat, and then they can spend the next month getting ready for the next hibernation. A really, really unique way of existing. That's very rare in animals, honestly. Can you imagine going to sleep for 5 months? Crazy stuff, actually. I know there's like some fish or reptiles or amphibians. What am I thinking? Like, yeah, and also some insects that can do that, like really stay asleep and hidden in harsh environments for a prolonged... Oh, we have to check this, of course. The salmon, the river is also used to display these salmon, because as you know, one of the most striking behaviors of bears in their natural habitat is their salmon fishing. Because salmons, they do a whole lot of migrating to get to their breeding environments. And bears know this, of course, and they just go stand in rivers and catch these giant, honestly, very tasty fish. So I understand. Look at this top-down view of the bear. I hope I don't drop my phone down there. Don't know about you guys, I've genuinely lost something in an animal habitat before. It was some sunglasses, and it was in a tortoise habitat. I think it was Aldabra tortoises, and my sunglasses fell in there, and I didn't want to get them. I feel like I've told that story before on a Plant Zoo video. Alright, so we get explanation as to the fish these guys hunt for in their rivers. With, of course, the salmon being the standout here. And that means we have completed the mountain hike section here. And the prairie pathway. And I believe we're getting close to the ending of this. Well, we're heading close to the final section. Yep, we've done that. We're gonna jump right on over here for the Arctic zone. We saw all of that. Yes, we've seen all of these animals. We're going to head to the Arctic fox, snowy owl, do a whole loop against the whooping crane, king penguin. Alright, I think we're gonna do just fine. The Arctic zone is to our right, it seems. Is that correct? It is. Let's go. A change in elevation once again. We get yeah, we're gonna head on this way for another view here of the reindeer. A little bit more of a private, secluded view. A little wonderful picnic section with a view of the very cool Arctic building back there, which I will reveal in full, of course. And we get the whooping crane. This is a custom statue. I'm pretty sure at this point there's a mod out there for these large bird, but in this particular instance they are bird statues. But still, a great habitat. I think the standout here is this shelter building with the ramp here, and feels like a place in the zoo to relax, unwind, watch these cool guys on their stilty legs. Is that a word, stilty? I'm not sure. One thing I appreciate here, one issue I have often in my zoos, like if you want to create a forest, you also always can look to the borders of the map. But one effect here that I appreciate, I'm not sure if it's on purpose, is that the ground here rises up just a little bit so that the horizon is hidden from your view, and this does feel like a forest environment. I'm not sure if that's on purpose, but it's a trick for sure. Play around with elevation to create interesting sightlines and effects is definitely a takeaway from True North Sanctuary at this point. we're not going to head to the cold dome just yet. Although we can have a look here at its wonderful architecture. We have looped around the whooping crane. We're here. So why don't we go check out the Arctic fox and snowy owl first before we head into the cold dome. I believe this is going to be the snowy owl bird statue. There you go. Very realistic. And the Arctic fox has a cute little indoor environment here where they can hang out in these chilled environments, and they have not very much an outdoor, because this is still clearly an environment that's being kept cold for the animals. But I love it. Look at this like blowing fake snow into the habitat, and I feel like this is meant to evoke that the windows are like, I'm not sure what the word is, but that there's like frozen air, or I guess on the windows, condensation. I'm not sure, but you get what I mean, right? Like the thing that happens in your fridge and your freezer, like that is happening on these windows. You love it. Well, I love it for sure. Oh, this is nice as well. I hadn't noticed that the gradient here in the banners leading to the reveal here of this climate initiative cold dome. Again, the theming in the zoo is on point with the color scheme kept from start to finish. This white, teal, greenish, now silver and white as well. And you love the look of this dome, really. These supporting structures, very modern, organic shape. Amazing stuff. Very impressive. Let's go inside. You can just imagine how cold it must be in here. To our right we get the penguin, the king penguin. Great stuff. They're swimming, and we do get a bit of an underwater view here, sort of at eye level. Great stuff. Penguin habits are very interesting in zoos. It's not easy to replicate their natural environment because their natural environment is so, well, alien to us. These guys live in one of the most alien places in the world, if not the most. And in zoos, you very often see them, sort of like this, in these very, like, concrete, man-made environments. Because you cannot replicate this biome in a zoo, for sure. You can try in Planet Zoo, but this is very, very much a realistic approach to a penguin habitat. The record for deepest dive by a king penguin is 343 meters. Excuse me? What did it have to do all the way down there? Ooh, and that is interesting. Do the penguins have a backstage pool? It looks like they do. I don't think we get to see it, but it looks like they can access their backstage through this underwater tunnel. Very cool. Very cool. It looks like we get a little bit of a teaser window in what must be the polar bear habitat. And we're not seeing it just yet, but I am seeing a beautiful, beautiful wall. Guys, that is so beautiful. Look at this. It looks like a wallpaper, but this is actually these 4 rocks, beautifully colored, sunken into the concrete, and then these girders, and then this thing is blowing cold air and snow into the habitat. Amazing. I don't even mind that I'm not seeing. Oh, and actually, guys, look at this. The caribou moss in game. I thought I never lived to see the day. that someone used this strange plant that I don't know what to do with in my games. I understand it. Used like this, it makes sense. So I don't think we're going to get to see the polar bear, so we're going to move past this little backstage peak for the seals here, and we actually get to see them. A very realistic backstage area, right? This looks a bit aged, a bit cracked. The habitat itself has an outdoor and indoor section, as you can tell. And I think both of them are in there, so we're not going to see them swimming. Ooh, I love the green peeking. I love it. But look at how the colors of the zoo are represented in every aspect of it. That's attention to detail, absolutely. So I think there's really only one standout animal left after this seal habitat, which again features this wonderful grime here on the windows. We can head on up here. We know that oh, wait a minute. That is cool. You guys see what she did, right? I'm absolutely sure that there is a hidden moat between the seals and the polar bear there. I'm so happy we got to see that. I don't think that happens all the time, but I'm very sure that there's a hidden moat here and that you don't see it, and that it absolutely looked like the polar bear can just enter this habitat. That was nice. That was a little moment of magic, honestly. And I'm glad I got to show that off to you just now, because that was clearly the deliberate intent here of this little section. But yeah, the seals are, as you know, inside, gorging on some fish, so we're not having to look for them in here. And then we get the polar bear with its own viewing gallery, and the polar adventure, huh? Let's find out all about that later. The polar bear, as you can see, is the largest carnivore, between 400 and 600 kilograms, guys. Think about that. If you don't know what kilograms are, look it up in pounds. That is a lot, and they are tall. They are nearly 3 meters standing upright. You don't want to mess with these guys. Absolute killers, absolute survivors. I'm gonna do a little favor here to the zoo and get rid of this tall grass. There you go. There you go. So the viewing gallery, ooh, great for the polar bear. We're having a lot of luck with the polar bear. Let's have a little rest here. Great design. These two mountains are putting in a lot of work to make this zoo look great. They've been used as the key structures many times over in terms of sightlines, but here we get the polar bear in this massive viewing area with beautiful rocks here at the back also as well. But I think it's just one polar bear in here, but it has been giving us a show, really showcasing the design here of the habitat. Absolutely. The polar bear, they do not need to drink water because they can produce it through digesting seal blubber. That's awesome. And in fact, where would a polar bear get its drinking water? I guess it could eat the snow, but great stuff. Great stairs as well, by the way. Yes, the huge statue of the polar bear with more signs and explanation. And I think Polar Adventure just denotes this particular building, right? Perhaps you can actually get some educational signs, or maybe a staff education moment But yeah, the polar bear absolutely has been making it worth our time to check out its habitat. I love the way that you are beneath it at every point here. Really driving home the point that these are giant animals. And that you're sort of below them. And I think, guys, that after this polar adventure, we don't have a lot left to look at. Do we? We do get the Arctic wolf. Bit of a controversial animal in Planet Zoo history, because if you remember, it was one of the earliest animals to have been released. What is this building? Have we been there? We need to look at a lot of stuff yet. But the Arctic wolf is not very often used in zoos these days, because people are like, it's just a timber wolf colored white. But I don't want to downplay how nice this habitat is, by the way. Again, with this railing here. I'm not sure where we have a little Arctic wolf cub here. It's probably gonna be another small pack here, and it seems like they have a little bit of a tunnel over there. So let us continue. Oh, this is nice as well. This is from the polar bear, right? Yes. Ooh. Look at that. Look at the way the whole habitat is like condensed, if you will. And if they actually sleep here, you can just see this massive animal. We are really being treated by this polar bear. Great habitat, absolutely. Absolutely the star of this zoo. The way it interacts with the environment here at the back, the way the polar bear interacts with it. Fantastic. So Arctic wolf currently not showing itself except for the little cub. That's okay, we know the habitat is fine. Northern Lights Society Polar Center, I believe, is going to be yet another viewing area for the polar bear, which honestly is fair. They are really cool animals. And this habitat is also really nice. So that is yet another way to view. I love that. I love that. Very smart. Minimalistic design. I love it. There's actually these custom stairs up here. Ooh, that is smart. That is really smart as well. Using a screen as the floor. Why have I seen someone do that before? I don't think I have. Or maybe I did and I didn't notice. But using the screen here as the floor, so that you're walking on these like ice floes. Really clever. Really clever. And we actually get a video here showcasing the environment that the polar bears live in. I'm not sure if there's sound. I don't have sound playing here. Perhaps if you visit this zoo yourself, which I heartily recommend, maybe you guys can go and check out if there's actually sound playing at this point. But yeah, you don't see a lot of people using videos like this. But Sparrow, again, the teacher that she is, absolutely made sure to have a lot of education here. We're gonna have to... Ooh. Beautiful. Oh my god. What a place. What a place. This is like a wedding venue or something. By the way, congratulations, Sparrow, on your wedding. Sparrow recently got married, so this is so amazing. This little wedding venue here with an actual dance floor with a DJ booth and everything. A bar here and a kitchen. Flowers. candles, plates. Beautiful. Actually, even get a balcony here with yet another spectacular view here of the polar bear. This habitat really is fantastic. It's really tough. I've noticed a lot of people have said that large habitats is really tough to build. And I agree in a sense that you just have to, do a lot, fill in a lot of space, make sure you're inspired enough to fill it. But personally, I am a person who loves to build big for, there's the Arctic wolf, who loves to build big for the animals, even the smaller ones. And I enjoy the scale of things like this. This to me feels natural to build. And the polar bear is such a busy guy or girl. Let me make sure. It's Nanook. They are a male polar bear. Imagine you get married here and then you're casually eating and you get the polar bear just walking past. This is so cool. And you even have this little gift section here where Sparrow, who as you can see has received the gifts for the wedding. Fantastic. Even this window. Ah, man. This has been a blast to visit. Absolutely. I'm just gonna check out the map to double check if I missed any animal or anything. I don't think I did. I think I have seen all of those animals. I might have missed the great horned owl actually, but we're very close to it. Look at this detail, at this little tarp that came loose. So you get a little peek-see in here. I'm not even supposed to be here, but oh, there's a whole bunch of geese flying overhead. They're probably heading to the south, because they're the geese where I live. They head to Africa in winter. A beautiful viewing section here, and then you get this tunnel. Very common zoo thing as well, actually. These tunnels with signs on the side. Where is the great horned owl? It should be here. There we go. Don't want to miss this cute little aviary once again. Guys, I'm gonna zoom out and give you the bird's eye view of this zoo. I have to say it was a lot of fun visiting this zoo. It's small, but it's amazing. It has this really, like, how would I say it? There's this through line in architecture that's kept intact from start to finish. There was definitely a plan to have these kinds of roofs, these kinds of colors throughout the whole zoo. So it really all works together as one cohesive place. And I'm very impressed. I'm also impressed with the color scheme that's going on. I'm impressed with the detail that just feels natural. The educational value of everything. This was absolutely a great time to visit. I hope I did it justice. I hope I didn't miss anything obvious. Guys, go check out, you gotta check out 3 things for me, right? First of all, that's a free thing. You can always subscribe and like this video if you want to see more Plant Zoo content or zoo tours like this. But go check out Sparrow's channel. They are not only a great builder but also a great YouTuber. They make well edited videos with storylines and everything. Go check out this zoo on the workshop, and go check out Sparrow's list of workshop items that she's put together for all of the things in here that were not built by herself. A little look here at the backstage. There is a lot to see that you don't get to see as guests, with even indoor. I'm actually very glad I visited this. You get this like storage section where trucks can deliver things. You even get like this quarantine zone for an animal. When it arrives, it can stay in here. And I think there's even another backstage section here. Yes, it is. With even more of these like quarantine zones, which I'm assuming that's what we're looking at, where animals that perhaps are freshly arrived to the zoo can be kept, or perhaps if they're sick or something, you have to revalidate. And you get this greenhouse section where probably a lot of the plants and food is grown for the animals. And you even get this staircase up the roof here, solar panels, skylights. You get this parking lot here. One fun little detail is this really cool car here that's speeding out of the parking lot with like it's blowing smoke and leaving a trail behind. That's such a funny little thing. But I think we have seen through North Sanctuary now, except for perhaps this little building here where the cars are parked. It was amazing to visit, and I will absolutely go check out the tour that Sparrow did herself for this zoo to see if there's anything important that I missed. Thank you guys so much for watching. You'll see another zoo tour from me soon, and you'll see another Bolo Bolo video from me soon. See ya! Actually guys, no, that's not it. This is something that I could not, that I almost forgot to show you. I forgot about it and I was reminded. Behind the admissions counter, there is a teal block here. And if you drag it up to here-ish, the whole zoo becomes, well, as you can see, Christmas-fied. I absolutely could not let you not see this. This is so much fun, and the amount of work that has gone into making this zoo Christmas themed and then hiding it all in one group and then grouping it together is ridiculous. But visiting this zoo at night with these Christmas decorations enabled adds a whole new layer to it. And we're not gonna do the tour again, of course, we're just gonna zoom through it, but everywhere Christmas trees will appear. And these very pleasing Christmas lights and colors and stars and everything, decoration will appear. And I can just imagining this zoo opening up for a special, unique late winter Christmas special. And yeah, it is such a cute little touch. Absolutely something I had to show you guys, because it's everywhere. All of the wonderful decorations. And it's such a vibe, and showing this to you at night. I should have shown this to you in the dark, but yeah, the Christmas spirit is absolutely present in this zoo, so go check it out. I'm skipping over details, I'm absolutely sure of it, but this is absolutely fantastic, and not something I've seen before. Someone hiding all of this Christmas stuff in one single group, which nearly crashed the computer, by the way. But great touch, completely took me off guard. Yeah, fantastic little moment. This zoo is so well lit and absolutely worth it visiting in the dark. So this time around, guys, I'm truly saying farewell. But again, I heartily recommend you to check out this zoo yourself, because the work that has gone into this, it needs to be rewarded by lots of views and downloads. Alright, see ya!